something to smile about, but for some reason you had to fall, as if you tried to forget it all. So now you're fading in lights and getting lost in the night, and trying to play in the stars while you forget who you
and you join me on the banks of Linear Fisheries, and as you can see the rods are on the dance floor and they've been out probably about an hour now, not long since got them all sorted. And yeah, we're out for my birthday bash. I've chosen a pretty special location. As you can see, we're on OXLEASE Lake on Linear Complex, and it's the first time I've ever been down, and I'm proper buzzing to be here and fishing it. Probably can't tell from my voice, but I'm absolutely knackered. I was absolutely buzzing this morning when I woke up at 4. It's about 1 in the afternoon now, and it's took us absolutely ages to get sorted. We set off at 4, got here for about gates opening just after 8. I actually chose this lake because it has actually been shut for a few weeks now, due to the flooding that we've been having. As you can see, it's actually pretty high. I'm guessing normal levels down by them reeds. You can see on the banks where it's been. Actually, it's been above this bivvy where we are now, and so it's probably been absolutely unfishable. But we've got 3 rods out there, all on the same spotted area, at about 85 yards. Comfortable range, because I think lakes like this, they get pressured that much, and liable to be in the middle. All 3 on the same spot, different rigs, different presentations, different baits, and I'm just going to see what works. I'm here for 3 nights. Fingers crossed, all being well with the coronavirus and all that wallop. But yeah, it's height of that, and I've chose to do a bit of self-isolating on the bank, as it were. And what better way to spend my birthday than on the banks of Linear Fisheries. We've got 3 nights, fingers crossed. The bailiff said that we can only get 24-hour tickets at the minute due to this coronavirus and stuff. Fortunately, we'll just have to see how it goes and play it by ear. But I'm proper buzzing to be down here, and I'm just hoping these big hippos are feeding. We're on OXLEASE Lake. I've never fished it before, I don't know how hard it is, but I think there's some big fish in here. Well, there's big fish in them all, and fingers crossed I can bag myself a massive PB. It's my birthday, that'd be lovely. In front of the camera for you guys. I'll run you through what bait I'm using, how I'm approaching it, and I've started, like I say, fishing 3 rods on the spot. I've spotted about 2 kilo, 3 kilo of bait out, hemp, boilies, different sizes mainly, 12s, a few 15s, but I'm keeping everything small, nothing in the face really to scare them off. And then I'm tipping my hook baits with maggots as well. A lot of corn in the mix as well, because I've been told that they like corn on this complex. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll run you through the rigs I'm using over the next couple of days. All being well, we're here for a couple more days. But yeah, it's about 1:10 in the afternoon on Thursday, the 19th of March 2020. So yeah, birthday tomorrow, so fingers crossed I get awoken tomorrow morning with a big Great OXLEASE card. But if not, hopefully one will come in the next couple of days. I'm going to give it my best shot, and we'll see what we can get. Well, good evening guys. We're just coming into the first night now on OXLEASE. After my 3-day session, we haven't had a lot to report throughout the day, but I've made quite a bit of disturbance finding my spots, spamming a bit of bait out, getting the 3 rods on the spot, and I've got all 3 tonight on bottom baits, all on wafters. They're all topped off with maggots as well, so that's another little edge that I've got, maybe over everyone else where they might not be bothered. Might just put a boilie on and throw it out. Hoping these little tweaks and edges I'm doing is going to nick me a bite or 2. But I'm not coming here for a load of fish. I'm just trying to nick a bite. I haven't put a load of bait in. It's spring, as you can see. There's no colour on the trees yet, and it's still pretty cold. But fingers crossed, with the lake being closed for a few weeks, it's going to give us again another bit of an advantage, and they're going to be on it, because I know Linear Fisheries holds good form. Or it's supposed to hold good form throughout winter. So there's been a few fish coming out of the other lakes, a few big fish as well, so let's hope they're on the munch. We're in a good area, we're in a good swim, there's plenty of people, and I think this bank is the only bank that's open. I could be wrong, I don't think anyone's on that far bank, so I hope that doesn't hinder us at all and they all don't push over there, but hopefully they smell them urbans and they get on them. Fingers crossed next time you see me I'll be hiking up my first Linear Fisheries carp. Birthday in the morning, I'm pretty hopeful for a fish. I've never been out on my birthday before, so fingers crossed I can hold myself a nice birthday whacker up. Come on. Sniff last night over my baited areas, so I've flicked them all to zig rigs. The middle rod has just absolutely gone into meltdown, and it's my first ever run. It's on my birthday, so I am dying to get this in. Still a long way out because my marker's just come in. He took a big run.
Is a mess.
Alright, birthday slap. Bosh! Look at that for a hammer. My first ever Linear Fisheries carp out of OXLEASE, and in the first 24 hours I am not complaining. Bang, look at him. He's gone 36 pounds, 10 ounce with the weight of the sling. We've got that to deduct yet, but just look at that for a hammer on my birthday as well. What an absolute beast of a mirror. Oh, he weighs every bit. Didn't have much luck last night fishing over my baited areas, so what I've done, I've got up early this morning. As you can see, the sun's coming up now, lovely. I've opted to switch all 3 rods to zig rigs, and this is the middle rod that's ripped off, and it's been a 4-foot zig that's done the damage. Just show you the other side of this absolute megadon of a fish. My arms are in bits. Happy birthday to me. Thank you very much, OXLEASE. Hammer time. 4 foot off the bottom with a nymph bugger liner from Bank Tackle and a size 6 quarter mixer hook to 11 pound zig line. So I'm absolutely over the moon with that. Let's get him back. Let's hope there's more to come. What a hammer. I am buzzing.
Yeah, let me rise and say I'll tell you I'm sorry. And don't think I'm wise because you got me thinking. Ooh, nah, nah, don't make me listen. Ooh, nah, nah, give me permission. Ooh, nah, nah, get in the system with me. Ooh, nah, nah, this is a prison. Thinking, did you see the warning light?
Well, now then guys, just a quick update. How's that for a birthday banger? Man, am I made up with that. New English personal best at a whopping £33, 10 ounce. Bang, get in. My first fish this year on the zig rigs. Well, first fish for about 4 or 5 years on zig rigs. I've just started trying on and off now recently. In the past year or two, and I've been proper struggling on them. But it looks like I've finally got a little setup that's going, and hopefully the fish like. Now, last night I put a bit of bait in after getting here set off at about 4:30 in the morning, as I said yesterday. So we got down here for gates opening. I was absolutely knackered, but I persisted finding some spots at a decent amount of range, because I wanted to be fishing at a range. I said yesterday they tend to push out in these sort of bigger lakes that are pressured a lot. Pegs 1 to 22 are the only ones available, which I opted to fish three rods nice and tight on a baited area, 85 yards. I picked a horizon marker, so I knew I could get all the rods nice and accurately over that area. And yeah, nothing happened, absolutely nothing. It was dead all night. Got a couple of liners, that's about it. Set the alarm this morning, but I got up before then because obviously it's my birthday. I was absolutely buzzing, and I was pretty gutted as well that I didn't have a bite and I didn't get woke up by a carp. So I wanted to do something and make something happen. Even though I hadn't seen any fish showing or anything, I knew they were about. I'm in probably mid-water on the lake. I'll show you on a map now where I am on the lake. So yeah, as you can see, I opted for a mid-water swim to give me the optimum chance of picking up a fish moving from right to left in the lake. The bailiffs informed me earlier this afternoon that a few fish have been out up the top end, and that's on the back of the wind, so they must be chilling in the back of the wind. It's pretty cold, vicious wind. I think it's a northwesterly. It's sort of like coming smack in his faces now at 18 to 20 mile an hour. So I'm struggling to get them zigs out now without entangling and twisting. But they're all on the money. I've got all 3 on the spot. And last night it just did not happen over my baited areas. And so this morning got up nice and early, like I said, and I swapped them all 3 of them to zig rigs at different depths, different colours. And not long after getting them all sorted, about half an hour later, the middle rod absolutely went into meltdown and it sailed off. And then that's when the battle commenced, as you saw on the GoPro. What a battle that was. Unfortunately, the middle rod, fishing them all tight, I opted to fish them all on the same area that I'd baited, and because I knew that the smell and the attraction from the area that I'd put down last night should have seen some action. If not, that I might have been drifting above it just to check it out or whatever. And it's worked. So the middle rod on the middle spot, so smack in the middle of the bait at 85 yards, 4 foot off the bottom, new personal best, 33.10. Now the other 2 rods, one was at 10 foot and the other one was at 6 foot. So what I've done now is get them all down to around 4 or 5 foot, and I've changed the colours slightly as well to the one that I got the run on. So fingers crossed, changing the depths and stuff. Hopefully they're all milling about 4 or 5 foot, but the sun's getting up now, as you saw in the last clip. So it's looking good for another daytime bite on the zigs. So yeah, fingers crossed. It's not long until I'm holding another birthday banger, but if not, I am absolutely buzzing, man, with that. What a fish it was as well. The colours on it was absolutely amazing. Proper nice fish. So yeah, thank you OXLEASE for a proper nice birthday present. Can't wait to crack into a beer now or 2. So yeah, we're going to get these spam butties destroyed anyway, because I think they're about ready now. A bit later on, I'm going to get a bit more bait out. What I'm going to do, fish the zigs out today. I haven't put any more bait out today, other than yesterday afternoon at about 2 o'clock. I'm going to get another spod mix out, and then I'm going to get them reeled in, give this one a breather, and then I'm going to go to the tackle shop, get myself a birthday present, maybe a bit of clothing or something. It's looking good, man. The wind's getting up, temperatures are rising. It's looking good for another bite. Let's fingers crossed that these carp get on these zigs. The setup I had that fish on, starting with just a simple cord and lead core leader. See, that's a quick change version, so I can quickly change zigs, whether I want to change depths or whatever, and it just stops anti-tangle as well. Being able to put that anti-tangle sleeve over there, the extra long ones, they're the Fox ones, the biggest ones I could get for zig fishing. And then as you can see, we've got a Gret lead there, that's a 4.5 ounce distance lead. It's gravel coloured because it's gravel bottom, all that's gravel. And then I've got that just pushed on there, just nicked on, just to drop that lead now. As you saw, that last fish, it didn't drop the lead, unfortunately, and I don't know, because it might be just because it's a new leader, but after every time you cast it out, just make sure you put a load of saliva on that clip and just nick it on, because zig fishing, you want to drop that lead. It felt absolutely horrible. I don't know whether I said, but in that fight with that fish, it felt absolutely horrible with a big heavy lead just swinging about. And then running down to the business end, we've got about 4 and a bit foot of the Corda zig line, 11 pound, because that's the strongest that they do. And then if I come in here, Corda mixer hook and a bank tackle nymph liner. And then what I've been doing is just spraying some of the Nash citrus concentrate before I fired it out. So I've just been giving that a couple of squirts and firing it out, and it didn't take long for that 30 to find it. So yeah, buzzing. Let's get it back out and on the spot. Well guys, I've just lost one, unfortunately. Absolutely killed my buzz. It's 20 past 4 now, Friday afternoon. The squad, like I told you earlier, was to chill today, fish zigs throughout the day. I haven't put any bait out at all this morning. Just fished zigs, changed to zigs over the baited area I put out last night. And I got that absolute banger this morning. New personal best, 33 pounds 10 ounce. And then it's gone quite quiet today. Been recasting, I've changed the depth, the zigs, and I've also changed over to the exact same rig that I got that on. Just changed the colour to a yellow one, and yeah, it ripped off about probably 20 minutes since now. Left hand rod, just to the left of the baited area. Same presentation, 4 foot up. I spotted a bait, mixed out about 3 kilo of bait, and I just got to the bottom of the bucket, and yeah, it pulled up tight. And unfortunately, by the time I reeled the spot in, put the spot down, got the GoPro going, hit the rod, absolutely flew towards me to the left, and there's an overhanging tree you can just see there, and it's in the water, and it's gone right round to the left of me before I even knew what was going on, and it's got me in a big dirty snag. I felt it, the fish was still on, trying my best to get it out of the snags, but I could feel it grating, it felt horrible. I was giving it line, letting it take it, let it go slack, thought it'd swim out, but it was caught too bad in the snag. Unfortunately, that's just how it goes fishing, I suppose. Proper gutted. Every fish counts, especially this time of year in spring, especially on a new tactic that I've just started catching on as well. I'm pretty gutted. So yeah, yellow 4 foot off the bottom, black nymph, size 6 mixer hook, and yeah, the 11 pound zig line went in the end. Just shows you they're over the bait and that my tactics are working. So 2 days left, fingers crossed I can pull it out of the bag and redeem myself, but if not, that's how it goes. Well, good morning guys. Nothing much to report last night. Second night last night, again quite uneventful. We did change up the tactics a bit. Last night I fished the left hand middle rod on the 4.5 foot zigs, nothing on there. Fished the right hand rod on a bottom bait. So yeah, a bit of a funky combination. I just wanted to see if they were over my bait last night. After putting 2 days for bait out over there. Yeah, as you can see, it looks good again today. For a bite on the zig, it's absolutely cracking with that sun up. It looks even better than it did yesterday. Yesterday it was dull till about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. I heard a few fish as well crash out last night, which is always good news. They're still about in the area. Got up early this morning, 6:30. It's 20 past 8 now. I've recast them all. Got all fresh baits out there. And spread them out a bit more. Give me this redemption fish, because I am still sloughened. Oh, come on. It's not going to be long, hopefully. Well, good afternoon guys, just a quick update. There's been no fish throughout today, unfortunately. I've tried my best with the zigs, I've been spodding over them and a lot, putting clouds out, changing the depth, changing the colours, and it's just not been working, unfortunately. I've been getting a few liners, which indicates to me that there's still a few fish about, and they could be over my spotted area rather than be up in the water, so I'm going to opt now to change 2 to bottom baits over my area.
Is like shifting mountains over ages of time. It feels like millions of years are behind me. I hide, but your memory still knows where to find me.
Well, good morning guys, another eventful night. Last night unfortunately. It's now 20 past 10, Sunday the 22nd of March, and it's been 2 days now without a fish. So I think the weather has definitely plummeted, turned these fish off unfortunately. I've had zigs out again all this morning. I got up again crack of dawn, 5-6 in the morning, I changed them all to zigs, fished 2 bottom baits to the left and right hand side of the baited area, and that zig in the middle like I said last night, and just nothing happened. So this morning I got up early, changed them all to zigs, recast them all. The zig was sat fine all night, nothing wrong with that. It's just obvious that they've not even been moving about, or they've just not been up this end. They've just been sat somewhere. But with this sun up in the air, I thought this morning it'd be worth getting up and getting the zigs out, but it's not paid off unfortunately again like it did on my birthday. But we win some and lose some, and I'm going to take this session as a positive, go home with hopefully a winning spring method in my pocket. When I go to Manton we can hopefully get some better results. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this episode guys. We're just going to have a steady pat down now. First trip down to Linear, so yeah, it's been an absolute banger. I just hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. A few more out, but 2 bites off my first trip down, and a new personal best. I'll take that any day of the week. So yeah, until the next episode, tight lines and wet nets. Till next time.